Mix 94.7 KMCH with me now into the studio on this Thursday morning is Beckman Principal Marcel Kokuski. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Mike. Good to see you again.
You betcha. So, been about a month or so since we've had a chance to visit, and got a lot of things to talk about this morning. First, let's talk about your latest goings on in the board meeting.
Yep. So we had our school board meeting last evening. Had a couple things that we took a look at and discussed. Obviously, this year we've always provided an update on COVID-related items for our board. So we talked about some of the recent cases we've had that developed. Unfortunately, we had a little spike around the Easter time, but that seems to have subsided. So we're hopeful that that continues, and talked a little bit about some of the funding that non-public schools are going to receive, similar to what the public schools have received from some of the federal legislation, and what that impact will be for us moving forward. Also, we're working with Dyersville Economic Development, some area businesses in the Dyersville area about potentially looking at some apprenticeship types of programs for our students. Folks here in Manchester are probably pretty aware of the apprenticeships that West Delaware's had that have been extremely successful. And we have some businesses that are interested potentially in doing some similar things in some different areas or fields. So we've had some initial discussions to talk about those. And we'll continue those here in the next upcoming weeks to see if we can start looking at some of those things either for next school year or in the 22-23 school year, depending on how those conversations go. We continue to work on our strategic planning initiative. We have a committee that's been working on that and are just about in the phase of creating year one goals and objectives that we can start in July. So we shared with the board some of the background information, and we'll be sharing those goals with them that have been developed next month. And then one of the other things we did last night as well is we approved our measures of college readiness. There was some legislation passed earlier this year down in Des Moines that requires schools to have alternative measures for students who are interested in taking college classes in high school. The legislation says you have to be proficient on the Iowa statewide assessments, and if you're not, there needs to be alternative measures to see if students still are eligible for college readiness. So we had to work with Northeast Iowa Community College, who we partner with for some dual credit classes, and work out some of those measures. So the board approved those so we can use those moving forward for next school year.
All right. And well, it looks like the students there at Beckman are as busy as ever.
As usual. Yep. So coming up this weekend, tomorrow night at 7. So Friday night at 7, Saturday night at 7, and Sunday at 3 is our musical this year. And again, that's Godspell Junior. We still have tickets available if people want to come. We are limiting our audience in person to 200 individuals. So if you're interested in attending this weekend, please just contact the office. We still have tickets available. Yesterday, we did a run through for our 7th and 8th graders. So I was able to see parts of it, and the students are doing a fantastic job. So we'd encourage you, if you're interested in coming over for a nice evening of some entertainment, stop in tomorrow night, Saturday night, or Sunday afternoon. We also will have live streamed shows of that next weekend on Friday, the 23rd at 7 o'clock, and then on the 25th on that Sunday at 3 p.m. You do have to purchase a ticket online through Showtix for You, but we will have that show at Friday night at 7 and Sunday at 3, not this weekend, but the following weekend, watch from home. We also have had students busy in state science. Last time I was here and had a long list. We had 2 more science competitions since then as well. We've had 3 students overall in the science competitions that our students attend that have qualified for the International Science and Engineering Fair. Normally for our students, that would have been an all expense paid trip to either Arizona or California. But with COVID, they're doing that virtually from here. So in early May, Libby Knipper, Grace Helly, and Jasmine Hager will all be participating based on the research projects that they did. At the State Science and Engineering Fair, we had Libby Knipper, who was an overall reserve champion. Libby and Jasmine also were named grand honorable mentions. And then we also had one of our middle school students, Gabrielle Hager, who was named a reserve champion, but then she qualified at the junior high level for a national competition called Broadcom Masters. So we're really pleased with all that. And in the divisional contest, we had 8 state champions overall at that contest. And then the FFA Agri-Science Fair was held right at the end of March, just before Easter. We had 5 overall winners that won in their divisions, so that's by grade level. And those were Gabrielle Hager, Luke Wessel, and Isaac Burlage, Libby Knipper, Drew and Leah Thier, and Jasmine Hager. So there's 6 divisions overall. 5 of the 6 divisions we had students for those overall winners. And then in the separate individual winners, we had 10 divisional winners. So the kids have done a fantastic job. So has Mrs. Kleesner, who's our science class moderator. And then with the FFA ones, Mrs. Mauser, our FFA advisor as well.
So speaking, of FFA, you got your state convention. That's going to be
that's in person. So that's going to be next week in Des Moines, Monday and Tuesday. Right now, we have 42 students who have qualified for some type of state competition at the state convention. So they'll be leaving Sunday afternoon and be coming back on Tuesday. So we wish them best of luck.
All right. So how are prom plans looking?
All right. So our prom is scheduled for next Saturday, the 24th. So we're trying to do things as usual as possible. So we're hoping that nothing changes here in the next 10 days so that becomes a reality for students. Obviously, if we're indoors, masks are going to have to be worn as part of the indoor festivities. But otherwise, we're planning to have dinners and dances like we normally do. And then our graduation ceremony is currently scheduled for Sunday, May 16th at 2 p.m. Current plans with that are for individuals who would like to attend, will attend in person. We'll live stream that as well because we know we have families and others who are too far away. And one of the things that we've learned with COVID that's, try to look at some of those positive things. One of those is that people have really appreciated the ability to live stream events. Mm-hmm. For example, my family and my in-laws all live about 4 or 5 hours away from here. So when we live stream items, that's something that they're able to dial in and be able to see stuff without having to drive down back and forth. But sometimes that's not possible for folks with their jobs commitments or just physical distance. So we'll have that as an option as well on May 16th.
And it looks like plans are still in place for one of your more popular fundraising events with the dueling pianos coming up.
So we are looking to have that coming up on Saturday night, June 12th. Those of you who have done dueling pianos in the area before, we have Midwest Dueling Pianos scheduled for that. So we know that they're a popular group that have done some of these events in our area. So that, again, that'll be on June 12th. I believe social hour starts at 6:30, and then the performance with the piano players will start at 8 o'clock. If you're interested in tickets for that event, you can contact school and speak with Christy in our development office. We also have Blazer books available right now, and those are being sold by some of our student groups, or you can pick one up at the office. That's a coupon book that we do each year, similar to what some of the other area schools do with some of their sports teams, where you have discounted either coupons for free things or discounted items at a variety of different businesses. There's over $600 worth of value in that book. They're $20 a piece. And again, we have a number of student groups that are selling those, or you can contact our development office if you'd like to purchase one.
All right, Marcel, is there anything else that you would like to highlight?
I think that's pretty good update for today. I continue to tell folks to have patience as we continue to try to wrap up this school year. I know everybody's kind of anxious to move on beyond COVID. I think we all want to be there, but we also want our students and our faculty to be in safe environments, and for our students to be able to have the activities that we want to have that we haven't been able to have. So if we can continue those mitigation efforts, things that we've been asked to do through these next about 6 to 8 weeks to wrap up the school year, we'll be able to have those events that everybody's looking forward to.
Very good. Marcel Kokuski with us, principal at Beckman High School, with the latest update for them. The KMCH Guest of the Day segment brought to you here by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Bill Thomas,